Hi, boys and girls. How are you today? Good morning. I hope you're doing great. Okay, today we're going to read the story Going Places that we read yesterday again. This time we're going to be looking at different parts of it to help us be better readers. Today we're going to be talking about Going Places, which is a fantasy. And a fantasy events could not happen in real life. Pictures and words help you understand what happens. The main character learns a lesson, and problems and solutions happen in fantasy stories. So it's a fiction story. Today we're going to be focusing on characters. Okay? Characters are people or animals in a story. Readers are people or animals, and characters are animals or people in the story. Readers can better understand a story if they understand the characters and how they think. External traits are often found in the details of the picture and text. Internal traits are more difficult to notice because they include how the character thinks, feels, or what he or she is like. You can figure this out by paying close attention to what the character says or does. Understanding how a character thinks or feels can help a reader understand why the character reacts to important events or challenges in certain ways. All right, so before we get started, let's look at an evaluate question. 8 out of 17 of you got this right in November. Our goal for January is 80%. So I'm going to read part of Birthday Blues. Stacy's birthday was in 2 days. Her parents had barely said anything about it. Her brother and sister just said, "Oh, yeah, I forgot," when Stacy reminded them. It seemed like nobody was going to celebrate. Stacy started to feel worse and worse. She moped around the house. She barely said anything. Still, no one said anything to her. It was like she was invisible. So, how did Stacy feel when no one says anything about her birthday? Does she still feel sad? 47% of you said sad. 0 of you said angry because she wasn't angry. 47 said happy. I don't think she was too happy about it. Surprised? No. So 47% of you said sad, and I would agree with that because she wasn't happy because no one was really remembering that it was her birthday, or she thought they were. Okay, so today we're going to be reading Going Places, and when we read it today, we're going to think about what are the external and internal traits of the characters in the story. Raphael had been waiting all year long for the Going Places contest, a chance to build a go-kart, race it, and win. When their teacher announced who would like the first kit, Raphael's hand shot up. The rest of the class watched enviously as Raphael walked back to his seat with the kit. Mrs. Chandra assured them, "Don't worry, you'll all be getting one." And they're all exactly alike. The kit came with a set of precise instructions. That made Raphael happy. He was very good at following directions. Raphael hammered, glued, nailed, and assembled his kit. His go-kart looked just like the one in the directions. He was feeling quite proud. Raphael wondered how his classmate Maya was doing. She lived right next door. He peered over the fence. "Hey, Maya, you haven't even started." Maya didn't respond. She was so intent on watching the bird in front of her and quickly sketching it that she didn't even notice Raphael. Then she just put down her pencil and stared at the bird dreamily. Raphael shrugged and let her be. The next morning, Raphael checked back to see how Maya was doing. "Wow, what is that?" he asked. Maya grinned. You like it? Raphael responded slowly. Yeah, extremely cool, but, Maya, there's just one little problem. That's not a go-kart. Okay, so what word would you use to describe Maya and why? What word would you use to describe Maya? I think I would use the word creative because she's looking at the bird and then she's creating something. She probably likes to be different and not always be the same as everyone else. And Rosie, she's right next to me right here, and she says that she thinks she's artistic. All right, so let's go to the next one. All right. Maya smiled. Who said it had to be a go-kart? Raphael was confused. The set of instructions inside the box were for a go-kart. But then again, they didn't say it had to be a go-kart. He looked again at Maya's contraption. After a moment, he grinned. I get it. Hey, Maya, I really want to win the race. The instructions never said we couldn't team up either. So they did work late into the evening. The next day, everyone gathered for the big race. Each go-kart was a perfect replica of the other. So do you think Raphael and Maya make a good team? I think they do. Why or why not? I think they do because they worked together and they made something really cool and different than everyone else. Okay. All right. Now, except one. One of the kids laughed. Looks like you had trouble with the going places instructions. You're going places all right. You're going to lose. Maya and Raphael didn't even have time to respond because the announcer's big boomy voice called out, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attention racers, start your engines. 4, 3, 2, 1. A buzzer sounded and they're off. While all of the other go-karts disappeared in a cloud of dust, Maya just sat there in the motionless vehicle. Raphael shouted over the roar of the engines and the cheering crowds. Maya, what are you waiting for? No worries, Raphael, Maya answered. Flaps down, throttle up. And now they took off into the air. The other contestants looked up in amazement. Maya and Raphael hovered and then sped past them all. Okay. Before long, Maya and Raphael coasted across the finish line to the cheers of the waiting crowd. They kept rolling clear across the race grounds. Maya slammed the brakes, stopping just short of the lake at the edge of the school field. Raphael noticed a startled frog leap from a lily pad and dive into the water. He raised his eyebrows and looked at Maya. She smiled. Raphael, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Raphael just nodded. What do you think Maya and Raphael are thinking? Okay, use the clues in your text and what you have learned about the characters to predict what they will do. Maybe they're thinking of a boat that they can build next. There's that crazy frog. Okay. Today we will identify how the character feels using what the character says or does, the internal traits, because knowing a character will help us understand how we will respond to events. How are we going to be successful? We're going to think, what did the character say? And we're going to underline it. We're going to think, what did the character do? And we're going to underline it. Then we're going to think, how would I feel if I said and did that too? And then choose an answer. Okay, so let's go to the first one. All right, so Raphael hammered, glued, and nailed and assembled his kit. His go-kart looked just like the one in the directions. He was feeling quite proud. Raphael wondered how his classmate Maya was doing. She lived next door. So I'm going to think, what did the character say? Well, he said, he didn't really say it, but he wondered how his classmate Oh, let's go back one. Let's go back. Oh, hold on just a second. We're going to go back up here. Okay. So what did the character say? He didn't really say anything. It's more about what he did. So let's see. I'm going to underline that. And this is what you're going to do when it's your chance. So he hammered, glued, and nailed and assembled his kit. And then he wondered how his classmate Maya was doing, and because she lived next door. Okay? And so now we're going to think, how would I feel if I said and did that too? So how did Raphael feel in the photograph? Bored? He doesn't look bored. So that wouldn't be a good answer. I'm going to cross that out. Proud? Yeah, I think he does look proud. He's so glad he got his, look, it looks just like the instructions. I think he's proud of himself. Frustrated? No. Or angry? No, I don't think so. Okay, so I think B is the best choice. So then I would circle B. So that's what you're going to do when you do your pair deck at the end of this, after we're done with this, after we're done with our examples. Okay, now I'm going to erase that. Okay, now let's go to the next one. Okay, now this says, the next morning Raphael checked back in to see how Maya was doing. Wow, what is that? He asked. Maya grinned. You like it? Raphael responded, yeah, extremely cool. But Maya, there's one little problem. That's not a go-kart. So we're going to think about what the character said. So we're going to underline some things that he said. He said, wow, what is that? Maya said, you like it? And then Raphael said, yeah, extremely cool. But Maya, there's just one problem. That's not a go-kart. Okay? So now we're going to think about, how does Raphael feel? So, or how do you think Maya feels on this one? So how do you think Maya feels on this page? Does she feel happy? She looks happy. Jealous? Not jealous. Frustrated? No. Confident? Confident means you really think you did something good. So I think D would be the best choice, because she is happy but more confident in what she did. Okay, so I'm going to erase this. Okay, and now I'm going to go to the next slide. And the next slide is the you do. So what you do is you're going to think about what the character says, and if they say anything, you're going to underline it. Then you're going to think about what the characters do, and you're going to underline that part. And then you're going to think about, how would I feel if I said and did that too? Then you're going to answer the question, how do you think Maya and Raphael feel after they win the race? And you're going to pick your best choice. Okay, so that's your job next. So when you click next to the next slide in your pair deck, you're going to go and answer that question. Don't forget to underline what the character said, underline what the characters do, and then choose an answer. All right, good job today. All right, have a good day.